this thing here is what will help you learn better English. This is some random in building article from my wife. I just solved all the red mistakes, and as you can see, we have 44. Sorry for me being slow. This is still early, and I still not want like 2 liters of coffee to work. As you can see, we have 44 yellow mistakes. The neat thing is that it and the groups them, so that you can know where to look and what to see. Word choice is huge also, but we'll start from the beginning. And one good thing Steve taught us, and you learned that from Laura, is that and is usually a sign for the sentence. But don't overthink content. I know most of people when you start writing, you mostly write content, so don't overthink that. This article, if you are not getting paid enough to make a perfect text, it's literally a waste of time. I had to learn that very difficult way. So don't. It's one thing to try to show yourself, to try to give results always over deliver, but not everybody knows how to appreciate that. So some we are 2 minutes deep and I'm still elaborating. So when you solve the right stuff, go from the beginning. This is pre-written headline, uh, and don't. If the score here is 99 or perfect, that doesn't mean that the text is perfect. And if you have zero yellow mistakes, that doesn't mean the text is perfect. Grammarly being perfect, but it's very helpful. So then, when you know, when only one word is underlined, it's probably a problem with the choice of word, even though you didn't change it there. Yes, so word choice 11, 3, 11. Even though this doesn't mean anything, because if you don't define the difference, you cannot know what's a big difference. But I won't go into micro stuff. This article won't be perfect. I won't make it perfect. I just want to show you how this works. Usually, all of those type of kind of you can just delete it in most cases. This, when you see a couple of words underlined together, it's usually this mistake where the sentence. But don't learn this. Don't memorize it. If you see something here underlined and you cannot figure it out why, and you already tried moving things around in the sentence, getting to the comma, and nothing works, go Google it. Literally, you can Google it. There are a bunch of online forums and stuff where people discuss grammar. It's crazy, and native speakers. You just have to do it. This will this will serve as a pointer where to look. This will show you what you know and what you don't know, and then when you know where to aim, you can hit it. So you need to do a lot of googling. I literally didn't read this. I'm just looking for the mistakes. he underlines and also. That doesn't mean that, let's say, this part is good and there are no mistakes. The grammar isn't perfect. Don't trust it blindly. For some reason, Grammarly doesn't like this, and maybe it's something with my settings or stuff, but it doesn't like interactions either. So it's kind of forcing you to say we are not always looking, but don't do it because this is much better. This is how people speak. But also it will show up here that they count that as the text inconsistency or something like that, and don't bother with solving that because sometimes you want to use the big we are not something instead of we are and something. Use that when you want to highlight something when you want to make a point. Most cases could write long sentences and then just break them. Solves most of the things. And then this happens because it's boring, so we need to fix that further. This word doesn't mean anything ever. See this thing again, this thing again. And I won't even change the structure or anything. Just aim for less fewer words, you see. Sometimes sen- if you can pull out a word from a sentence and an idiot would still understand what it's stupid to say idiots and a little kid would still understand what a sentence means. Don't keep the word. You don't need it. This is just intro. This, for example, if it affects them. My wife is a decent writer. She's even better thinker than writer, and this is very low level stuff. But sometimes you will write things that sound natural in your mind because you heard them on TV or somewhere, and sometimes those stuff just don't mean shit. Because if it affects them, it affects their lives. So you don't need 5 words. Me too. Or I'm good people. I don't know what's happening here. We can come back. Grammarly is also imperfect because it will ask you to use It marks this as the missing punctuation in the sentence, or something like that. It will be clear. Clear ones. Ah, yeah, close punctuation. If you put a comma there, it looks stupid. This thing there, it's also stupid. Don't use those. Again, if you don't know what the way is, you cannot know what a nice way is. Don't describe stuff you don't have to. You see a lot of times they're part of the sentences. You don't even need, and in my opinion, Grammarly is awesome for that because it will clear out your English. You'll stop using irrelevant stuff that don't mean anything, and that's very important for copy or content. It can pass, but always aim to write it with good text. When you see "and" in a long sentence, either break it or it's usually comma. Sometimes this. If you have a sentence that's this long, just don't have it. All of those, I suck at theory of languages and knowing the names of stuff in the language, but most of these later in life, first of all, secondly, and stuff in Croatian, that's prefixy. So all of those that you insert into the sentence to glue it to the previous part or to this stupid to say describe the sentence, but I you get you get what I think. Most of them, I mean all of them, need a comma after it. This uh, it's probably possible to know the exact number of participants, so always use exact numbers. Always. And I kind of missed the point. Hold it up. While you click around the text here, keep the close eye on these, and when you change this, look what happens here. And then, if you cannot find a logical explanation why that happened, Google stuff. If you don't know how to Google that stuff, copy the whole sentence. Google the whole sentence. Go open a book. Look for a sentence with it's. It's usually for me punctuation was very difficult because the rules are different than in Croatian. Tenses are fucked up because they are much different than Croatian, and I'm using too many words. But Grammarly helps with all of that. It will show you when you miss a tense. It will be here faulty tense something. Don't freak out when you see that. Just Google that, and tenses will require a lot of Google. And for all the rest, you can, if you try enough times, you will start to catch the patterns, and then it, it will just become natural to you. And if you want to work in English, focus only on English. But if you are just starting as a copywriter, you don't. I would I would suggest you to focus on your own language because it's easier to learn one thing at a time. It's easier to learn how to become a copywriter than to learn good English and how to become a copywriter. So kind of go slow, go from your major market, and people will trust you there sooner. So you get more chances. And don't worry that you forget to write your language if you focus on English because that's your language. You won't forget. Trust me, I didn't write everything for 2 3 years. I'm writing a few projects. That's your language. It's natural. So just write a lot. This my wife is a great lady and a decent writer and an amazing thinker. And these are very low level articles, but we cannot allow stuff like this. This increase their fertility is the same as increasing the chance to have a baby. That's literally the same thing. And you don't need that. And the thing is, when I give writers articles to write, and if the volume is 800 words, I always tell them to write at least 850, because when you start editing, a lot of that will go away. As you get better, the difference will get narrower, but a lot of that dies here. And when you use the exact number when you're specific, that it earns trust quickly, because it shows that you really researched, you went deep in the topic. This, those are good stuff. People want to see those in articles. Include charts and stuff. This again, you will also probably have a lot of these. The thing is that my wife has better English probably than me, but I write all the time. She Her English comes from watching TV shows and stuff. I mean, partially mine too, but I write all the time, so I see this stuff all the time, and it's natural to me to get rid of it. She writes like that because that's what she hears, which doesn't mean it's wrong. You just can make it better and to record. Don't describe stuff. Never. Sometimes this works just. Word choice. Sometimes you won't have the exact synonym or for one word, but then you go both ways. Uh, because if you go seek something that changes serious, you won't find anything that fits. But if you go and Google serious relationship, synonyms, it will show up, and then it will take you down here. Again, this doesn't mean shit. If the article is perfect in grammar, it can still suck at literally every level. It can still be bad written. It can be bad researched. It can just suck on so many levels. So don't obey this. Use it as a guidance.
Niin, Mario pitäisi peittaa pian valoon. Pitäisi peittaa valoon.
So these, it's both of them are in age to of hard pass. You see, rather die than do that. Then you have this one you can ignore. As I said, this one is serious in the headline, so we cannot change that. This one also ignored. This one, it's usually when you see a couple of words underlined, it means there is a simpler way to say that, and one needs to get the most out of that is to use Hemingway alongside Grammarly, because Hemingway is better for catching those wordy sentences. It shows exact parts. Uh, the combination of Grammarly and Hemingway will help you get the full picture of your text. And I think Hemingway is much better for evaluating the text. Let's say. Yeah, I'm stupid. Don't be afraid to Google stuff. I Google stuff all the time. I think I might have some difficulties with spelling, but you can't let shit slow you down because you just can't. See, this one worries me, and that's also that sentence didn't mean anything before. And as I said, I'm not reading this very carefully or anything. Looking for the unclear sentences. This would be short and I will submit this now because it doesn't have to be perfect every. There is a nice tool for if you're writing content because then you're mostly writing for SEO and to check how your articles look. I mean, this is in Russian, yes, but I've spent so much time here that I kind of understand Russian already. You put this istia.com, you put your text there, click this analyze, and then it will show up here the density of your keywords, and this I think it means Walter. That's non-informative text. This client makes me submit stuff that's less than 60% non-informative, and a good way to do that is to avoid. I mean, who knows if you'll ever get a project like that, but if you need to obey some stupid tool like this, nice trick to do to reduce that non-informative content is to write an article like this newspaper article, like you're reporting something, not like it's a copy, not like it's copied. And what I want to say, don't use so many use. It's not your life will change. Use life changes because uh, if you don't address the reader, that's that here will reduce. But anyway, this is the good part of this tool because it will show you how many times you used each word. It's a bad thing. It doesn't pick up long tailed keywords. It doesn't pick up phrases. But still, it's a nice thing to see where you are. And if you see, in most cases, unless that's a name, if you're writing about David Beckham and it has four here, you cannot reduce it in most cases. So don't worry about that. But if some random words like this, don't let them go over. If nothing changed, they like 3%, but don't go that high either if you don't have to. I mean, I feel like it's everything. If if you need any more questions, any more help, just feel free to ask. That's it. Be ready to spend a lot of time in grammar. Be ready to spend a lot of time reading about English, and you learn it. It's not easy to learn a language. For at least for me, some people learn that like it's nothing, but it can be done. So just exploit it.